Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here on a Thursday, May 18th, trying to cook up this NBA playoffs per usual. Got the GOAT with me, as I say every time he's with me, man. Big Al, what's up, my guy? How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I took it on the chin last night. I laid it with Boston. So I need a bounce back today in the NBA. But other than that, I'm okay. My Rangers let me down yesterday, also in sports, and my Stars are in action tomorrow. So just
Yeah,
loving
it's
the sports action right now.
yeah. I was on the drive-through yesterday. I gave up Boston as well for free on the drive-through, so I was right there with you as far as thinking, Boston would have a better game one than it did. Did cash in baseball yesterday on the premium side with the Atlanta Braves, so it's been going pretty
You
good.
got me. You got me.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that, but it's yeah, I'm on a little nice 28-8 run, 13-1 my last 14 NBA, so it's been decent so far this month.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm been pretty hot myself. That's what I'm kind of upset about yesterday. We'll get back on track though. It's been a great playoffs. I think it's been one of the more entertaining playoffs as well. Um, we got the bubble teams in here. What do you think about that?
When you say bubble teams, you mean
The teams that were in the
like,
bubble.
oh, the playing round is what you mean? Yeah.
No, so
Oh, what do you
2020.
mean by the bubble teams? Oh, you mean the Miami and the Lakers? Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were here. I
That
was hearing
bubble.
a lot of that bubble wasn't real basketball. I was hearing a lot of that. A lot of people try to hold that Lakers championship against them, saying it
Well,
was
you know what? One of the things I did during the bubble when it came to the playoffs is because all the games were played on neutral field, neutral ice or neutral whatever, you didn't have home field advantage or home ice advantage, or whatever you want to call it. And so that year, it was very chalky. The Lakers, just won the championship. The Tampa Bay Lightning, and I actually backed the Tampa Bay Lightning that playoffs. I think they played 22 games. I was on them 21 out of the 22. And I thought the fact that everything was on neutral courts or ice favored the better teams because the worst teams never had that emotion behind them to try to pull upsets and stuff. And in 7-game series, you just saw like it just be all chalk.
Yep.
I mean, Miami upset Milwaukee. That was maybe the exception, but it was fairly chalky that playoff season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just thought it was interesting. We got those 4 teams back now. So
Yeah.
Before we hop in, man, we got some other NBA news this week.
I know where you're going.
So you got the hoodie on over there, man. I'm San Antonio Spurs look like they're back now. How you feeling about it?
Oh my God, I'm ecstatic. We began talking about this last June 30th, July 1st, when the Spurs traded DeJounte Murray. That was the official sign they were going to tank for the max, ping pong balls for Wembanyama. The previous year, they also traded Derek White to the Boston Celtics. So that's kind of where, they had a master plan. They knew this was going to happen, and they decided to bottom out this past year. And if they had kept Murray, they would have had an okay team, right? They would have made the play-in round. They would have likely earned the 10th seed in the Western Conference. They would have drafted somewhere between 11 and 14 and get a mediocre player, But they traded him to the Hawks. They got for the deal. It's just an incredible deal that Brian Wright made in retrospect, right? So 2 unprotected first-round picks from the Hawks in 2025 and 2027. They have 1 protected pick first round from Charlotte in either 2025 or 2026. And they have a right to do a pick swap with the Hawks in 2026. And they have now the draft right to possibly a guy who might end up being, when all is said and done, one of the top 5, 10, even maybe number 1, best players of all time, for DeJounte Murray. So
yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. But hey, if there's what's what's the word I'm looking for? If there's a franchise that can navigate through good times and bad times, it's the Spurs, man. I was super excited when I did see him get them. As a Mavericks fan, I was kind of upset, but as a fan of basketball, I was excited to see him go to San Antonio. Me personally.
So on the internet, or it's going around all the Houston Rockets reactions, right?
Yeah.
The fans of Houston were just apoplectic when the Spurs got Wembanyama, it was like, fuck the Spurs, those motherfucking, all that stuff you've heard, all that. Like, were Maverick fans kind of the same way? Like, was Dallas kind of like in the anyone but San Antonio camp, or anyone but San Antonio or Houston camp? Like, where did the Mavericks fans fall?
For us, we knew that it was 9 times out of 10 going to be one of the two. And I think we'd rather have it be San Antonio than Houston. Is how I looked at it.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it. I think we were more so worried about our own shit. We wanted to keep our own pick. We did end up getting the 10. We didn't send it to New York, so that was pretty good.
That was the top priority. But
yeah, so
Dallas fans weren't like if they were rooting for Charlotte above San Antonio or Houston, or
nah, I don't think so.
Because I told you beforehand. For me, it was like, the number one team I didn't want to see get it was Houston. Right? Yeah. Like, number 2 was probably Dallas, but number 1 was Houston, just because of the Texas rivalry thing.
Looked like Victor was right there with you, based on his reaction when.
It was. He played for Tony Parker's team last year. Tony Parker owns a team in France, and Victor was on that team last year. Victor was a Spurs fan growing up. He definitely wanted to play for San Antonio.
Yeah, that's what
that had been the rumor. But then there's that. It's probably a fake video. I don't know if it's real, but it's hilarious regardless. Is like when Houston gets picked number 4, they show Victor Wembanyama clenching his fist and pumping his fist and with a smile. So I'm sure it's a fake. But every time I see it, I just laugh.
For sure. I had to talk some Spurs hoops with you, man. Before we get into tonight, we only got one game, guys. So how fast do you think the Spurs to be good, is what I'll say.
There's two paths they could take. I have my preference, but whatever Brian Wright and RC Buford want to do, they're pros. They'll figure it out. You can try to grow organically with Victor Wembanyama, take things slowly, not rush to be great, build assets, kind of use it as a 3-year plan to surround them with young talent, and in 3 years they all kind of grow together. Or you can go out and try to make trades and try to see if Damian Lillard wants to come over, try to force stars to come now. I prefer the first approach and not try to rush things, and I'd rather try to keep the assets and not, because they're stacked. They've got for the next 7 years, I think 13 first-round picks. They could use those assets to try to get veteran talent. I'd rather they didn't. I think it's probably going to be 3 years before they're significantly competing for the championship. That's just how I look at it. But what do you think? I mean,
I would probably be right there with you 3-4 years. For me, I have to see Victor play for real. I mean, I do. I think he's great. I think he's going to be a very good player. I do. I'm not one that's, saying the best prospect ever. I'm not one of those. I mean, I'm taking LeBron James, clearing him coming out of high school. Me personally, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of Victor just because of the defensive ability. It's offense and defense. It's also, the range. I saw Brian Windhurst. Did you see him in his comments yesterday?
I did not. What did he say?
He was over there in France with Victor on draft day, so he was visiting the whole thing. And what he said, he was interviewed yesterday, and what he said is, he says, people are not going to believe this is true, but he says he's seen it. He says Victor Wembanyama can guard, because of his length, he can guard the rim and the 3-point line at the same time.
I think, like I said, I think he's going to be good. I think the hype was warranted.
The hype's definitely warranted. I mean, the argument is, who's the better prospect, LeBron James or Victor Wembanyama? That tells you all you need to know. Literally, there's 3 NBA players in the past 50-some years that were at this level.
Yep.
Lou Alcindor, LeBron James, Victor Wembanyama. I mean, it's a short list, and if you want to go over to the hockey side, the 3 players at this level were, Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, and Sidney Crosby. All those players became superstars, won multiple championships. They were can't misses, etc. Could Victor Wembanyama be a guy who finally misses, sure, but I just can't see it.
Yeah, I know. One highlight that sticks out to me when I watch this game, that's like, oh wow, it was the 3-point attempt where he was cooking on the 3-point line. Shot a step back three, missed, grabbed it by himself off the missed 3-pointer and put it back. I said, oh my God.
yeah. I mean,
oh my God.
Yeah, there's that. But just the fact that he's 7'5" and you see him taking running threes. I mean, it's not like he looks like a guard in a 7'5" body, you know, and he can pass, he can defend, block shots, and it's just. And you throw in the fact that he's got this personality very similar to a Tim Duncan, where, you know, intense, wants to develop, works hard, good kid. You know, it's like the perfect. Just the perfect person, right? I mean, it'll be.
I can't wait to see him in action for real. I can't.
Yeah, no. The funniest thing was, you know, they order the ping pong balls based on record, and so there's 1,001 combinations, and they order them based on record, and they go sequentially from the lowest thing to the highest. So Detroit had the worst record, so they got the 140 lowest combinations. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, etc. And then the ones that were it goes from 141 to 280 was Houston, and then from the next lowest one, so 281 through 420 were San Antonio. And then the combination 25814, which fell in that 281 to 420 range, and that's how San Antonio got it. The reason the Spurs won was because they lost the coin flip after the season. They tied with Houston, and if Houston had won, or if Houston had lost, whichever team lost the coin flip, it fell in that, you know, that range of numbers, and that was the determining factor on which team got Wembanyama. So you heard the Houston fans like in that video, we should have never, won the coin flip.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's just dumb luck, really.
I think so too. I'm excited to see him finally in action. I'm happy for the Spurs. I think that's a franchise that for the NBA needs to be good.
Well, what are the Mavericks going to do with Kyrie? And
we're bringing him. As for me, in my opinion, I think he's coming back, and I think we're gonna clear the deck and try to sign some wing guys. We're gonna run it back, and I think.
But are you going to keep Are you going to keep the 10th pick or trade it to try to like go all in on this year? Because this is the draft where you would want to trade that 10 pick.
That's the thing, is we got to figure out something good for it. I mean, I've been seeing a few trades. I don't really like any of them. I mean, the 10th pick is valuable, but it's not that valuable. So,
but this, see, next year's draft isn't going to be that great. I mean, this is, if you're going to move an asset, it's, you know, the 10 pick's going to have a lot of value. They're not even going to get back in the lottery, right? They're going to be making the playoffs.
We're not back in the lottery next year.
So like, you've got a chance to move this 10 pick. I think we will.
But it's what we will get in return. Is the question. I think we got to hit up, one of the bottom feeder teams in the league, like a Charlotte or a Houston or a Detroit, probably try to peel off a wing guy for them. For me, this will be a perfect case scenario. I would call Detroit right now, tell them we'll give them the 10th pick for Bojan Bogdanovic. That's what I really want in Dallas. I think he would be a great piece over here in Dallas. Another foreign guy to really help out Luka, but can get his own bucket and can defend. I love the work he was doing in Utah. And I wanted them to try to get him this year. So, I mean, that's something that's on my mind. I don't know if that's on the Mavericks' mind or something like that, or if even the Pistons would give up Bojan for a 10th pick. But, I mean, I don't think he really services them that well over there. So that's just something off the top of my head that I would look at.
Yeah, I mean, they might. I mean, So, but I think that's what Dallas needs to do. I mean, they should move that pick and try to get a veteran or someone good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we got the conference finals today. Western Nuggets up 1-0. They've had a dominant 3 quarters. Game 1. Lakers made some adjustments in that 4th quarter. Jokic had 38? I want to say it was 33, 12, and 19 and 12, I think, through 3 quarters, and then he only had 3 points in the fourth. Are those Lakers adjustments, something that we can bank on? Or I don't know. Today's game's tough, so this is how I'm looking at it, Big Al. Okay. For me, I've said all season, there's one team I hate fading at home. Like, you're almost asking to lose every time you fade them at home. And it's the Denver Nuggets, man. They just absolutely hoop up there. 41-7 straight up at home. Part of it could be the elevation, and it is the elevation, but I mean,
it's also the talent.
I was just going to say the other part is this is a really, really good team. And to be honest, I'm leaning laying that 5.5 with Denver tonight. And I have the Lakers getting and winning the finals. And they have to steal one on the road in Denver for that to happen. I just don't see it necessarily being tonight. That's how I'm looking at this one. How are you looking at this game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I passed game one. I also passed game one of the, Boston, Miami. I'm passing tonight on the premium side for this game. I'm looking at the under here. If I have to play side or total, I think the under probably offers the best value. The first game, extremely high scoring, 132.
I had the under game one.
Yeah.
I knew a few minutes into the game, I was done.
Right. I mean, 132, 126, 258 combined points. They also won their previous game versus the Phoenix Suns, 125-100. NBA teams have gone under now 45 and 28 off in the playoffs off back-to-back wins if they scored more than 118 in each of those 2 victories. If the over-under line then was greater than 220 points, then that moves to 27 and 11. And then also, if you go back to 2012, game 2s of NBA playoff series have gone under 60% if game 1 went over the total and it totaled 215 or more points. So it's just one of those things where, we talk about adjustments. I mean, I think both teams will make adjustments.
Yep.
And I just think, we're just going to see a different game. I think, that was really out of whack, 258 points. I just think it's a much lower scoring game here. I would, take the under.
I'm leaning under with you too. I am. So like I said a minute ago, I had the under game one. Part of the reason for me having the under game one is when you go back and look at the 2 previous series, both teams played great defense. The Nuggets actually played really great defense against Phoenix and Minnesota. I did not see Jokic working out Anthony Davis in the manner that he did, those first few quarters. I do like the switch that the Lakers made, taking Anthony Davis off of Jokic, letting him be, just the perimeter roller that he is, or not the perimeter, but the paint roller that he is, disrupt things at the rim. I did like that. And I think tonight could be lower scoring, man. I did not fire up the under. I did not. It makes me nervous. I knew, like I said, from the start of that game, like 2 minutes in, I said, oh, yeah, they're going over in this one. So both teams can put the ball in the bucket. They can. But if I had to choose a total, I would lean under again. I think both teams probably step it up more defensively today. I don't necessarily trust the role players for Denver to explode kind of like they did. Jokic got his, and he's going to continue to get his. But I think the key to most of these series are, can the role guys continue to shoot at the clip that they have? We had like Bruce Brown go for substantial amount of points. You had, a few more guys really over there for Denver. Game 2, I believe, in Phoenix or against Phoenix last series was a low-scoring game for Denver.
No, look,
I believe it was
Denver Phoenix 97-87.
Yes, so
and yeah, it was the game before that was what was game 1? Game 1 was 125-107.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean it's it's not it's you're not going to go broke, taking game 2 unders off high scoring game 1s.
Yep. The Lakers, I just went back and looked against the Warriors. They got blown out game 2, 127-100. But
it went on in that game, I remember how I said I was 13-1 my last 14 NBA. That was the one loser. I had the under 226.5, and it landed 227. The only game out of my last 14 I've lost was by a half point, and that was it.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. But, I mean, that's an under type game, too, for the Lakers, the team we're looking at in this game today. So, I think he probably just talked me onto this under tonight. I think he probably just did. I'm nervous because, like I said, I knew game one I was done. I knew it.
I mean, yeah, it's.
I probably got to go back to the well today.
Yeah. It should be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be interesting to see, as you said, do the Lakers do those adjustments, carry forward here? But as I said, Denver's going to make adjustments too. So,
yep.
That's what NBA playoff basketball is about. Matchups, adjustments, and we'll see.
Yes, sir. What you got for sale over at Pickdawgz today?
I've got hockey.
Small card today. We were talking about that before the show.
Yeah, I mean, I've got hockey for sale. I've already posted the Preakness Stakes for Saturday. That's already up for sale. I've got some NBA action for tomorrow, game 2 between the Celtics and Heat for sale. And I've got my USFL football game of the month for sale. That goes Sunday. So I've got 4 things, but 1 out of those 4 go tonight. The other 3 all go, in the coming days.
Yes, sir. Hey, speaking of those alternative football leagues, did you see I finally got me a championship in football here in Dallas? Finally.
Arlington. Yeah, it's not even Dallas. It's Arlington.
I mean, that's all right. Hey, that's Dallas. Arlington is a city. They be trying to play that card that you're Dallas. Stop it.
I don't know if we've ever talked about, I used to live in Dallas. 19 right out of law school, 1991 through, well, I was there every summer from like 89, 90. Then I moved there permanently, 91. Lived, when I moved there, I first lived around SMU, in the what they called the Village, and then moved a little bit north, after that. But yeah, I love Dallas.
Me too.
Just a great city.
Only thing is, we're not getting sports betting anytime soon.
I'm in California. We're not getting it either.
Yeah, they came out yesterday, said basically it passed through the House, I think, and then the Senate basically said, man, we ain't even going to look at it till 2025, which is ludicrous, but hey.
Yeah, we've got the fight between the Native American tribes. They own the rights to the gambling at the land-based casinos here, and then the DraftKings FanDuel, and it's like they both didn't want the other group to get it. They both had proposals, in last year's election, so they each ran negative ads against the other, so then both lost.
Yep, that's the state we're in currently, man. It is what it is.
It's just crazy. I mean, California and Texas, like 2 of the most populous states in the country, and they can't, And then we have our problems here with all the, the taxes and
we don't really have those. I'm glad.
All the deficit, all that. It's like just pass sports gambling and like put some money in the state coffers and quit taxing us to death.
Yep, I think it'll help too. I especially in California, I got all them damn people over there. Yeah, I got a lot of money over there too. So yeah, man, we know y'all gonna bet when y'all get the chance. But yeah, man, that's the show. Thank you for joining me today, man. I love the conversations we have always.
Yeah, no, it's great being here. And I don't know, I'm gonna miss the drive-through tonight because I've got to go to the, do the thing with my kids. But I don't know if you're gonna be on the drive-through later.
Yeah, I'm on there tonight. Probably talk some baseball with my guy, Tommy T.
We can, do this next Thursday. At that point, we might be in some closeout games.
Let's see. Next Thursday will be May 25th, and it'll be Game 5, Celtics Heat is what it'll be.
Game 5, Celtics Heat. So then the Lakers Nuggets will be going into their Game 6. So the Lakers Nuggets will be, one of the teams will be possibly being closed out in that Game 6. Unless they already were closed out.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So as always, I'll be looking forward to seeing you next week. Thank you for joining me today. Anything else before we get out of here?
No. Can't think of anything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the bets, Chaz, we both like the under 226, and then I'm with the Nuggets, like I said on the jam session this morning. Some 2 plays for us today. Thank y'all for joining us, man. Let's make some money on a Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow in the morning, per usual. And I'll have the live jam session tomorrow evening as well. So we out of here, man. Thank y'all for joining us, and we out of here. Peace.